Some people say that the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. But I'm here to tell you right now that that's not always the case. Tupac was wrong as fuck because he didn't understand the intricate details of melanin. And some of these blackberries, it ain't no damn juice. It's Coke 45, it's Hennessy, and Coca-Cola. I'm Master True, Master Disciple of the Most High Chief Baba G, and today we are about to be talking about melanin. Peace to the gods. Attune. Welcome back to Chance. Welcome back to Opportunity. Let's get right into it. The reason why you can't judge people strictly off of their appearances is because this can be very misleading when it comes to the understanding of what melanin is, right? Melanin is an antenna. Melanin is an antenna for consciousness. Light-skinned babies. Why? Because light-skinned babies are retarded. Hold up. Before we get in our feelings, let's objectively examine the word retarded. Retarded means underdeveloped. Why are light-skinned babies underdeveloped? Because they lack melanin. What is melanin and why is it so important? Melanin is an antenna that connects us to the universe. The more melanin you have, the greater your connection to source.
Today I'm talking about delusional disorder and how it's different from schizophrenia. Delusional disorder is very different from schizophrenia. The only thing that they have in common is the presence of delusions. Schizophrenia is delusions plus hallucinations, disorganized thoughts and behaviors, and other cognitive or thinking problems. A delusion is a fixed false belief, and despite evidence that goes against what you believe, you still believe it. So it's what we call a tightly held belief. Delusions can be a part of other psychotic experiences like mania, depression, and substance intoxication or withdrawal. The delusions you see in schizophrenia tend to be bizarre in nature, whereas the delusions you get with delusional disorder are non-bizarre and possible. An example of a bizarre delusion is believing that our insides are being replaced while we sleep. A non-bizarre delusion is believing that a famous person is in love with you. It's probably really unlikely, but it's possible. The main criteria for delusional disorder is that you have a delusion that lasts at least 1 month. And there are certain personality disorders where people can experience very short-term psychotic experiences that last minutes to hours. And you can see this with paranoid personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. You can watch more about these disorders in my personality disorders playlist. But those very short, transient psychotic experiences would not be considered a delusional disorder. There's 6 types of delusions in delusional disorder. First, there's Erotomanic type. This is when you believe that someone is in love with you. And we sometimes see this kind of delusion in people who stalk. They're following or contacting the person because they believe the person wants their contact. And the person on the other end is creeped out by it and doesn't understand why the stalker won't just leave them alone. Now, not every stalker is delusional, but some can be. Next is Grandiose Type. With this delusion, you believe that you have a great talent or insight that people just haven't discovered yet, or you're on the verge of a big discovery. And you might be working on something big, but there's something about it that just doesn't add up enough, and that's why it's undiscovered or unrecognized. But you'll say it's unrecognized because the right people haven't been exposed to it. Another way that this can look is you believe that you're a prominent figure like Jesus, and that the person that we thought was Jesus was just an imposter. Religious themes often get pulled into the grandiose type of delusions. The third type is somatic. It involves delusional beliefs about body functions or sensations. And the most common beliefs are the following: that you emit a foul odor, you're infested by insects in your skin, you have a parasite in your body, or the parts of your body are not functioning. And believe it or not, these really are kind of the standard ones. There's other kinds of somatic delusions people can have, but these themes seem to repeat themselves. And people with these delusions end up with a lot of doctor's appointments to get the problem that they think they have evaluated. A fourth type is jealous type. And with this, the person believes that their partner is unfaithful. They may see minor things like you having disheveled clothing as evidence of the infidelity. A fifth type is persecutory. With this type, the person feels that they're being conspired against, spied on, or poisoned. The person also may feel like someone or some entity is holding them back from achieving a certain goal. These last two that I just mentioned may sound very similar to a person with paranoid personality disorder, and I talked about that disorder in this video. The person with paranoid personality, though, has a lot more going on than having these specific concerns. And with the personality disorders, the problems bleed across all aspects of their lives. Also, the paranoid person is suspicious, but not necessarily delusional. They can at least consider that what they're thinking may not be true. The last type is mixed type, and this is where no specific theme predominates. And you may have features of a few of the types. These delusional themes can be present in illnesses that have delusions. For example, mania can have grandiose delusions. With psychotic depression, people can have persecutory delusions. Delusional disorder may not be obvious to other people because the delusions can be compartmentalized in a way that you can have normal functioning in every other aspect of your life that doesn't involve the delusion. So if you believe Mark Zuckerberg is in love with you, you can still go to work and take care of your family, but where it may show up is in your attempts to contact him, or you may post pictures on your Instagram that reveal your obsession with him. If you have somatic delusions, you may compulsively wash yourself several times a day to get rid of your smell. And people close to you know that you have this problem, but others on the outside of your home may not. Delusional disorder tends to remain stable over time, meaning it can intensify and cause problems, or it can run quietly in the background of your mind. But a small portion of people can go on to develop schizophrenia, not because it causes schizophrenia, but it may be more of what we call a prodrome to schizophrenia. A prodrome is an early stage of an illness where you can have some symptoms of a larger illness, but not all of them. So you have a little of this and a little of that, but it eventually builds up to the bigger illness. So in some people, delusional disorder can lead up to schizophrenia, but that's not the usual. In my experience, delusional disorder is not as responsive to antipsychotic medication. If the disorder doesn't cause a lot of dysfunction, you may not even go to get help or accept that you need to take something to stop believing what you do. And since it doesn't make you globally psychotic and out of touch, many people will just keep to themselves about their beliefs to reduce conflict and get people off their back about getting help. So it's something people can live with without seeking help. Sometimes the intensity of the belief can come and go